What is going on, everyone? I've got a brown knife FSD to talk about today. Now, this came from my buddy Cliff up in Alaska. And my question's going to be, have we gone too far with the fidget factor? Okay, this comes in a hard Pelican style case, which is very cool. And has, you know, kind of typical eggshell padding inside, and a certificate of authenticity. One of the things I really like about their website and how he's doing things, it's Craig Brown. I like how on his website, you can go and look this one up because they're all listed there. It's very much like VC Edge. All of the... Well, I think I have VC Edge number 79 and 80. They're all listed on the website. It tells some specs about them, and it tells the price. I don't know if number 80 made it on the list or not. Maybe. I don't know. I think I've talked about the price, so hopefully he didn't put that up there. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But you can go and look, and when you look this one up, it's got milling pattern number 1. They have 3 different milling patterns. One of them is, well, this one, number 1. There's another one that has the lines going up and down only. And then there's another one that has like some lines here, and some lines here. It's kind of different. You go check on the website. There'll be a link down below. This particular one is $825. All titanium frame, titanium clip, titanium backspacer. This particular one, CPM 20CV. They have another model that is $775. That is the same, but they use CPM 154 blade steel instead. This thing runs great in the pocket. I like the fact, let's zoom in a little bit here. I like the fact that right here, he puts the serial number 86, and the -20 signifying that it is 20 CV. I believe. Maybe that has to do with the date. I don't think so. It's got to be the steel, right? I didn't even look because I don't think this was made in... Well, there's not a date on here. I don't think these were made in 2020. So, I don't know. I think it's for the blade steel. But I could be wrong. I don't know. The milling is really well done. And under the pocket clip, there is no milling other than you can kind of see in there. I think it's Blaine, Washington, USA. That's very cool, but it's smooth under the pocket clip so that it works even better in your pocket. This milling is spot on. I mean, it lines up so that it almost looks as though there's no pocket clip. There's a lot of things I do like about this knife. And there's a couple of things I don't like about this knife. So we're going to talk about all of that. The specs on it is 4 7/8 closed. It has, this is where the fidget factor comes in. It's got something called a brown lock, which we'll talk about. But you can finger flick it, or you can just flip it like normal. You can front flip it. You can spidey flick it, you can thumb flip it, and you can button lock flip it. Button lock open it, you know what I mean. Press the button and it will come out. Overall length is 8 3/4. We'll talk about the openings here in just a second. 3.85-inch blade, 3.32 cutting edge. Behind the edge is 0.014. It has a crazy, very high hollow grind. Crazy. Blade thickness is 0.151. This particular version is CPM 20 CV, as I mentioned. Overall thickness is 0.487. Weighs in at 5.1 ounces, just a hair over your standard D-cell battery. Y'all knew I was going to pull that out. And it runs on ceramic single row bearings. Yes, even I can finger flick it because it's just how it is. I can front flip it. I can thumb it sometimes. It's a little odd on the thumb. You really have to kind of dig your thumb in and go out. So the thumb for me doesn't work so great. And you can finger it like a normal flipper, but there's a gotcha. The way your finger lands here, if I release it, you flip it open and it kind of bites you. Okay? Even when you flip it open, your finger comes back, it kind of bites you here. It doesn't get hung up and doesn't lock up, but it certainly kind of bites your finger. Not to where it's going to cut you, but it's absolutely uncomfortable for me. I legit I flinch at just opening it because I know it's going to kind of get me. So for me, I can't open it that way. The brown lock, he calls it, is, let me see if I can zoom in and show you. It's very much like, and I'm sure there's some nuances and differences, so I get it, it's different, but it's very much like a compression lock. So it's a liner up here that falls into the blade, and you move it out of the way by the button. If you can see that, I was kind of holding the flashlight in my mouth, but so that's the brown lock. It's basically like a compression lock. I'm sure there's differences, but it gives it a very smooth, free-flowing drop shut that bounces like hell. It's a timing thing. You kind of have to figure out the timing as to when to release the button lock so that it will close and just stay closed, if that makes sense. It feels really good in the hand. This is other than the normal flipping kind of biting my finger, and sometimes it's not doing it because my finger, now I'm just kind of nervous about getting my finger out of the way. So I slide my finger back even farther. But that was something that first, bunch of, even then it kind of bit me a little bit. So I don't know, anybody that has one of these, let me know your thoughts on that. Have you had that happen? Or do I just have big fat fingers that get in the way? I'm not saying it's a bad thing because you can front flip it, you can Spidey flip it, and you're good. Like there's a lot of ways to open this. The hollow grind, I'm not even going to really be able to show you. It's not going to come across on video really well, but it is a crazy cool hollow grind. I think we kind of zoomed around already, but yeah, it's a cool knife for sure. Made in the United States. So you're going to pay a little bit of a premium for that. Here it is with the Delica. So $825, like, I don't know. You guys tell me. The Kubi KB237. The Sharpie. Because we talked about the weight, the D-cell, and the AA. I think it's a very cool knife, but is it too fidgety? I don't love the drop shut. Now, I am sure I could adjust the pivot, crank that thing down, and it would close maybe more controllably and more slow, so I don't have to worry about cutting off my fingers. But because of the action, because it's a button lock, you don't have to worry about your fingers. You get everything out of the way. There's nothing in the way. Whereas on other knives where you have a liner lock, you have to worry about getting your thumb out of the way before it closes on you. Right? So with a button lock or the brown lock that's activated by a button, you don't have to worry about that at all. And you can figure out the timing. Once you play with it a fair amount, you can kind of figure out that, oh, I just let go of the button at a certain point, and then it doesn't bounce. But yeah, the bouncing is a bit fidgety for me, a little annoying, don't like the sound. Yeah, that stuff I don't really care for. Anybody that's got this knife, please chime in down below and let me know what you think. Other than it being too drop shutty for me, and that little bit with the flipper, I think it's pretty awesome. It's a great size. It feels great in the hand. The milling is very cool. Hollow grind is great. Yeah, I think it's a cool knife. Let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to hear.